There are some people who just seem to radiate positivity, no matter what life throws at them. Let me tell you about someone like that, Jerry, a restaurant manager whose attitude not only inspired everyone around him, but also saved his life. Jerry was always in a good mood, always had something positive to say. If you asked him how he was doing, he'd smile and say, "If I were any better, I'd be twins." That kind of energy is contagious. In fact, Jerry was such a natural motivator that when he changed jobs, many of his waiters followed him from restaurant to restaurant. People wanted to be around him, not just for the job, but for the way he made them feel. If you were having a rough day, Jerry would find a way to lift you up. He'd always help you look at the bright side, even when it felt impossible. I was fascinated by this, so one day I asked him, "How do you do it, Jerry? No one can be positive all the time." He looked at me and said, "Each morning I wake up and remind myself I have two choices. I can choose to be in a good mood, or I can choose to be in a bad mood. I always choose the good mood. Every time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim, or I can choose to learn from it. I always choose to learn. And when people come to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaints, or I can point out the positive side. I always choose the positive side." I couldn't help myself. I said, "It can't be that easy, can it?" But Jerry just smiled and said, "Yes, it is. Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is a choice. You choose how you react. You choose how people affect your mood. You choose to live your life the way you want." Years later, Jerry's attitude would be put to the ultimate test. One morning, he accidentally left the back door of his restaurant open. 3 armed men broke in. While trying to open the safe, Jerry's hands shook so much that the robbers panicked and shot him. He was rushed to the hospital, barely hanging on. After 18 hours of surgery and weeks in intensive care, Jerry survived. When I saw him 6 months later, I asked how he was doing. True to form, he grinned. "If I were any better, I'd be twins. Want to see my scars?" I said no, but I had to know. What was going through his mind during that terrifying moment? Jerry told me, "The first thing I thought was, I should have locked the door. But as I lay there bleeding, I remembered I had 2 choices, live or die. I chose to live." He said the paramedics were encouraging, but when he saw the looks on the doctors' faces, fear hit him hard. Right then, I knew I had to take action. The nurse asked if I was allergic to anything. I took a breath and shouted, "Bullets!" Everyone laughed and I told them, "I am choosing to live. Please operate on me as if I am alive, not dead." Jerry lived, thanks to skilled doctors, but mostly because of his incredible attitude. Every day you have a choice, to enjoy life or to resent it. The only thing you truly control is your attitude, so choose wisely. That's the lesson Jerry taught me, and maybe it's the reminder you needed today.